So what are the best master's degrees to get in 2022? And if you're going to start with the quick Google search, make sure you spell masters correctly. But you are going to get flooded with tons of sponsored articles and websites basically run by universities marketing and advertising their master's degrees programs, telling you that they are the best and they are paying the most when you graduate. But a lot of these websites and articles are basically marketing advertisements. So which master's degrees are actually worth the time and money that you'll be spending and investing? As a recruiter, I can verify and tell you how much money you'll be making when you finish and get these degrees, and which degrees translates to jobs that are actually hot and popular in the market today. So you know that you are not wasting your money. And if you want more helpful career tips just like this, make sure you click subscribe down below or share it with a friend who's thinking about getting a master's degree right now. Now, as a very, very important disclaimer, before I get into the list of the top master's degrees in 2022, I want to point out that you should be 130% sure that you are going to love the job that you are going to get when you finish this master's degree. I highly recommend that you do a lot of extensive research before choosing to get one of these master's degrees, because getting a master's degree is generally much more specialized and specific than getting something like an MBA. So if you are going to spend 2 or 3 years investing the time and money to get a master's degree, make sure you are going to love this job, because you won't have a lot of flexibility to do a career switch after getting a very specific master's degree. So my general recommendation is that you actually take a job and start to work in that industry or field for at least 1 to 2 years to make sure that you are going to love this type of job and it is worth going back to school. All right, let's dive into the list. All of the master's degrees that I'm going to list out in this video are in no particular order, but the first one I want to talk about is a master's degree in computer science. With this degree, you'll be learning computer systems and architecture, as well as machine learning and coding. This is a very versatile and flexible master's degree that will allow you to work in both the hardware, silicon, and software space. If you're able to get a focus within silicon architecture or design, this is actually something that is extremely popular and hot in the market right now. In the past, this wasn't really known as a sexy type of major because it was related to hardware. But I feel like we're in a technological circle and cycle right now where hardware wasn't really cool and sexy and it was all about software and machine learning and AI. And now a lot of large tech companies are starting to integrate vertically, and they really want to invest in their own custom silicon. So this is a highly specialized skill set and something that is in huge demand right now in the marketplace. Another master's degree that is worth it is a master's in nursing. Now, getting a master's like this actually allows you to reach upper-level management roles that may otherwise be unattainable without a master's degree. And the best thing is you can usually work full-time and get this master's degree at the same time. And when you graduate and get your master's degree, you automatically get a bump just because you have it now. So it immediately starts to pay itself off. In addition to increasing your salary as soon as you graduate, this master's degree also allows you access to be able to transfer and work in other more specialized departments that just generally pay more, like anesthesiology. The third master's degree on my list is in cybersecurity. You are going to be learning cryptography, risk management, privacy, and digital forensics. As a recruiter, I can tell you that all of the really big tech companies are heavily investing in this space to really build up their privacy and security teams. You are going to be protecting IT systems for these large corporations, and you're also going to be critical to protecting all of the software products that they are going to be rolling out and selling to customers. Another master's degree to consider is one in data analytics. You are going to be learning advanced statistics and quant theories in order to be analyzing huge data sets. But I will caution you, if you are going to be getting a master's in data analytics, your end goal or your end job should be a data scientist, not a data analyst. That is the only profession in which I do believe the ROI is worth it. There are actually quite a few data analyst boot camps that you can get that you can finish in a few months and not have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get. So if you are trying to be a data analyst, I would not recommend you go out and get a master's degree when you could have instead gotten into a boot camp and done that. Another master's degree to consider is one in chemical engineering. These master's degrees are typically required because you really can't go into that amount of depth in undergrad alone. And a lot of the chemical engineering jobs actually require master's degrees. So this is one of those that basically becomes a requirement if you are planning on working as a chemical engineer, but typically already pays for itself when you look at the starting salaries. And the last master's degree on my list is one in petroleum engineering. You are going to learn mathematics and geology so that you can work as a petroleum engineer or work in R&D for these large oil and gas companies. And I've also seen recently that a lot of these environmental companies, which do pay pretty well, are also looking for folks with this specialized master's degree. Again, not many schools have an undergraduate program which can actually create or build up enough of a skill set just in undergrad classes alone. So usually they automatically have to work into a master's degree, but if you look at the current base salaries today in the marketplace, it is totally worth the investment. Alright, so what are some key takeaways when you look at this overall list of the master's degrees that are worth it in 2022? Well, if you'll notice, a lot of these really are technical focused, and a lot of these allow you to achieve roles and jobs that would basically be inaccessible without a master's degree. And this is why I believe that these are actually worth it. There are a lot of jobs within the corporate role and G&A, like marketing, finance, sales, HR, which you can actually achieve without having to get a master's degree, which is why they didn't make my list, even though sometimes they do pay well when you graduate. So this concludes my list of the master's degrees that I believe are worth the money and investment. But if you have a master's degree that you think is actually worth it and has a really good ROI, put it down in the comments below so we can help our Career Shakers community. Thank you all for watching, and don't be afraid to shake things up.